Tomorrow.
Okay. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're going to get started with our Friday night service, and we're going to begin by lighting the Shabbat candles. Madeline, would you like to light the Shabbat candles for us? Thank you. Okay, the blessing for the Shabbat candles can be found in the Siddur on page 4, and Madeline will light them for us. Here you go.
Somebody.
There we go.
I was gonna say somebody needs to get a new box. I light these in honor of the memory of my brother, Randall Dunn, who died as a baby of 2.5 in a drowning accident and never got to enjoy life as I have. I live for him. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu l'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. Okay, thank you so much, Madeline, and may your brother's memory be for goodness and for a blessing. Okay, we will turn to page 5. We'll continue with Shalom Aleichem at the bottom of the page. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Hamalachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi melech malachei hamalachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We'll turn ahead to page 11, and we'll continue with Lechu Neranena, top of the page. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. Naria, naria, letzur ishenu, nekadma fanav betodah. Naria, naria, letzur ishenu. Bizmirot narialo, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai, lechu neranena, lechu neranena, lechu neranena l'Adonai. The heavens shall be glad and the earth rejoice, the sea and its fullness roar. The meadows and all that grows in them exult. Even the trees of the forest shall sing praise, as Adonai comes to judge the earth, judging lands with righteousness and people with divine truth. We'll continue middle of page 14 with Yismechu Hashamayim. Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim, Hashamayim, Yismechu Hashamayim. V'tagel haaretz, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umlo, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam, Yiram hayam umlo, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, hashamayim, Yismechu hashamayim, V'tagel haaretz. Exalt Adonai our God and bow down at God's holy mountain, for Adonai our God is holy. We'll continue with Romemu, page 20 at the bottom. Romemu Adonai Romemu, Romemu Adonai Romemu, Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Vehishtachavu lehar kodsho, Vehishtachavu lehar kodsho, Vehishtachavu lehar kodsho. Ki kadosh Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu romemu, romemu Adonai romemu, romemu Adonai romemu, romemu Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Eloheinu romemu. We will now turn ahead to page 23, and we will do Lecha Dodi. Last week, I mentioned that we are within the 3 weeks leading up to Tisha B'Av, the observance of the 9th of Av, which is a mournful time. And because of that, there's a custom to do a special melody for Lecha Dodi during those 3 weeks. There's an additional custom to do Lecha Dodi to the melody of Eilit Sion, which is a hymn that is sung on Tisha B'Av. So we will do that this evening. We'll do Lecha Dodi to Eilit Sion. Page 23, we'll do the first 2 stanzas, and then we'll do the middle stanza on page 24, and the final stanza on 25. And when we get to the final stanza, we'll rise and face the entrance of the chapel. Page 23. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor bedibur echad, Hishmi'anu el hamiyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, L'shem u'l'tiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelecha, Ki hi mekor haberacha, Merosh mikedem nesucha, Sof ma'aseh b'machashava techila. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Middle of 24. Hitoreri, hitoreri, Ki va'orech kumi ori, Uri, uri, shir daberi, Kevod Adonai alaich nigala. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha Dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise and face the entrance. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. You may be seated. The righteous flourish like the date palm, thrive like a cedar in Lebanon. Planted in the house of Adonai, they flourish in our God's courtyards. We'll continue middle of page 28 with Tzadi Tamar. Tzadi Tamar yiferach ke'erez balvanon yizke shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvun beseva Deshenim vera'ananim iyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai tsuri tsuri velo avlat abo. Before we continue with the evening service, I'd like to invite everyone to turn to page 178, and we'll continue with the prayer for the state of Israel at the top of the page. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael Vegoalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Sur Yisrael Vegoalo. Barech, Barech, et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit smichat geulateinu, hagen aleha bevrat chastecha, uferos aleha sukat shelomecha. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tsur Yisrael Vegoalo. Avinu, Avinu, Sheba Shamayim, Tsur Yisrael Vegoalo. Avinu Sheba Shamayim, stronghold and redeemer of the people Israel, bless the state of Israel, that it may be the beginning of our redemption. Shield it with your love, spread over it the shelter of your peace, guide its leaders and advisors with your light and your truth. Help them with your good counsel, strengthen the hands of those who defend our holy land, deliver them, crown their efforts with triumph, bless the land with peace and its inhabitants with lasting joy, and let us say, Amen. And we'll now continue with the Mishaberach prayer for those who are ill. If you have the name of someone you would like to say out loud this evening, please go ahead and rise in your place. After I read through the names on our list, we'll go around the room. You can say the name out loud. And if there's anyone online, you can unmute at that time as well. We'll turn back to page 173, and we'll do the Debbie Friedman Mishaberach on the top left-hand corner of the page. Mishaberach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Moshe Tzindel ben Sarah, Chazan Aliza Batya bat Bracha, Yaakov Achana bat Rivka Simcha, Shena Rezel bat Sima, Adam Chaim ben Sarah, Nisan ben Esther, Shoshana Lena bat Yochevet, Kira bat Ariel, Batcha bat Chana, Talia Devora bat Brana, Yehudit bat Ruth, Israel ben Ita, David ben Leah, Shemira Cherut bat Sarah, Yaakov ben Limid, Ezra ben Yadaroisha, Yehudit bat Rivka, Judith Siegel, Ernest Edinger, Don Satz, Melissa Larnst, Jack Azuz, Rick Hammer, Judy Pitkovsky, Diane Chodorow, Jennifer Brown Lerner, Eva Curis, Ken Gasser, Harvey Colchin, Jennifer Hayden, Julia Damaro, Elva Pineda, Nancy Levick, Killian Parker, Tanya Boberick, Marion Camerlingo, Terry Lukanik, Stephen Lukanik, Robert Lukanik, Patty Locks, Gary Guto, Nancy Rummage, Lynn Sinowitz, Chessie Idenopoulos, Francis Gilston, Amy Stone, June Shadman, Pam Daly, Andrew Bustamante, Linda August, Damon LaForce, Judy Sherman, Virginia Fell, Thomas Narr, and May Ying.
Eastman Meyer, Caleb Dennis, Amanda Dennis.
Karen Hammer.
Is there anyone online who would like to add a name?
Charles Gelfand, Chaim Be'er Ben Rochel Etol, and Deborah Rochel Bat Avraham.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mi shebeirach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. May they all find the healing that they so need and so deserve. We'll continue now with the Mariv evening service. I'd like to invite everyone to turn back to page 39A and to please rise for the Baruch at the top of the page 39A. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach leolam vaed. You may be seated. Please join me on the English side in the middle of the page. Baruch atah Adonai, our God, sovereign of time and space, whose word brings the evening dusk, whose wisdom opens the gates of dawn, whose understanding changes the day's divisions, whose will sets the succession of seasons and arranges the stars in their places in the sky, who creates day and night, who rolls light before darkness and darkness from light, who makes day pass into night, who distinguishes day from night. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Living and ever-present God, may your rule be with us forever and ever. Baruch atah Adonai, who brings each evening's dusk. Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila. Adonai tsevaot shemo, el chai v'kayam tamim lo chaleinu leolam vaed. Baruch atah Adonai, hamahariv aravim. We'll continue with Ahavat Olam, page 40. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amacha ahavta Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta Al kein Adonai Eloheinu b'shochveinu u'v'kumenu nasiach b'chukecha v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו באורך ימינו, באורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. והיה אם שמות ששמרו בצדקה. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Top of 43a. אמת ואמונה כוזאת וקיים עלינו, כי הוא אדוני אלוהינו ואין זולתו, ואנחנו ישראל עמו. God brought Israel from its midst to lasting freedom and led them through the divided water of the Sea of Reeds. As their pursuers and enemies drowned in the depths, God's children beheld the power of the divine. They praised and acknowledged God's name willingly, accepting God's sovereignty. And then Moses, Miriam, and the people of Israel joyfully sang unto you. We'll continue with Mi Chamocha, top of page 44. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi kamocha nedar ba'kodesh, nora tehilot osef ele, malchutecha ra'u vanecha bokeayam lifnei Moshe, zeili anu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch leolam va'ed, ונאמר כי פד אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל. We'll continue with Hashkivenu, page 45. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu לשלום, והעמידנו מלכנו לחיים, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ותקננו בעצה טובה מלפניך, והושיענו למען שמך. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us, and you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Uferos aleinu sukat shelomecha, Baruch atah Adonai, hapores sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We'll continue now with Vishamru and Chatzi Kaddish, page 46. Please rise. Vishameru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat לדורותם ברית עולם. hilai beini uvein bnei Yisrael oti leolam. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש. יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה. בעלמא דברך ירותי, בהמליך מלכותי, בחייכון וביומכון, ובחיי כל בית ישראל, בעגלה, ובזמן קריב אמרו אמן. יהי שמי רבה מבורך, לעולם ולעד מעלמיה, יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתהלל ויתהלל שמי לקודשה בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמירן בעלמא ואמרו amen. We'll continue with the silent private Amidah that begins on page 47 and concludes on page 52. If you're still reciting the Amidah, please continue. We will now turn to page 54, and we'll continue with the full Kaddish in the middle of the page. Yitkadal vitkadash merabah. Ve'almadi varak yirutei ve'amlik machutei b'chayechonu ve'omechonu v'chayechol beit Yisrael b'chalav izman karim ve'imeru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach le'alam le'al me'al maya yitbarach yitbarach v'ishtabach v'itpa'ar v'tamam v'tnaseh v'itadar v'talev v'talal shmei dekudesha b'richu le'elam min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata damiran be'alma ve'imeru. Amen. Titkabal salot ahon avadahon dechol Yisrael kodam avahon devishmaya ve'imeru. Amen. Yehi shlam rabba min shamaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. Ose shalom mimromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. We'll continue now with the Friday evening Kiddush. I invite everyone to please rise or remain standing. We are on page 55. Savrim Ananan Verabaran Verabotai, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Borei Peri Hagafen. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam, Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvot Veratzavanu, V'Shabbat Kodsho Be'ahava Uvratzon Hinchilanu, Zikaron Lema'aseh V'Reishit, Ki Hu Yom Techila Lemikra'ei Kodesh, Zecher Litziat Mitzrayim, Kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim ve'shabat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabat.
Amen.
L'chaim. And we'll continue with Aleinu, page 56. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon ha'kol, la'tet gedula le'otzer reshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, ve'lo samanu kemishmechot ha'adama, shelo sam elkeinu kahem, ve'goralenu kechol hamonam, Anachnu koim umishtachavim uvodim lifnei melech malachei hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu shehu notei shamayim veyoser haaretz umoshav yikaro bashamayim ima'al ushchinatu zo begovhei meromim hu Eloheinu einod emet malkeinu efes ulato kakatuv betorato ve'adata hayom ve'hashevota el levavecha Ki Adonai hu ha'Elohim b'shamayim mima'al ve'al haaretz mitachat einod. Hakim lechav Adonai Eloheinu. Kakatuv betoratecha Adonai yimloch leolam vaed v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad Ushemo echad. We will now take a moment to remember those who are no longer with us. This Shabbat, we remember the yahrzeits for the upcoming week of Kay Kaplan, Helen Farkas, Annette Tepper, Pauline Kaufman, Ann Levick, Ethel Moskowitz, Solomon Rosenbaum, Armand Drucker, and Clarice Siegel. And if there's anyone else you are remembering this evening, please take a moment to remember them in your mind and in your heart, and may their memory be for goodness and for a blessing. We'll continue with Mourner's Kaddish, page 58. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah. Be'alma divara kirute ve'amlich malchute b'chayechon uviomechon uvechaye dechol beit Israel ba'agala uvizman kari vimru amen. Yehi shemei rabba mevarach le'alam olalme almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yithadar v'yitale v'yithalal shemei dekudesha b'richu. Le'ela min kol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechamata da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shalom rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. You may be seated. In a moment, we'll conclude with Yigdal, but before then, we have some announcements. First of all, thank you everyone for joining us, and welcome to those who are here for the first time, as well as those who are here all the time. Tomorrow morning, we will have our service as usual at 9:30 a.m. We'll have our regular Kiddush lunch afterwards. At the end of Kiddush tomorrow, around 12:15, there will be kind of an informal lay-led Torah study. It's a little program we're going to try to institute and do on a regular basis, maybe once a month, maybe twice a month. And I provided some study questions for those who want to participate can look at and look at the Torah portion and study together. So that's 12:15 tomorrow at the end of Kiddush. Just as a reminder, we have our weekly minyan that meets on Monday and Thursday mornings at 8 o'clock a.m. We do have people that come regularly to that want to hear the Torah reading, that need to say Kaddish. And in order to do those things, we need to have a minyan present. Oftentimes there isn't one. So if you can come to that on Mondays and Thursdays at 8, that would be great. They do serve a breakfast afterwards, and there's a minimal monthly donation to partake in the breakfast. It's $10? $10 a month. And they serve bagels and cream cheese and all of that stuff.
If you're lucky there, you'll forget. You don't have to pay anything.
Don't quote us on that. Our religious school, the Academy of Jewish Learning, is open for enrollment. If you have any family members who are of religious school age or know anybody in the community whose children are looking for a religious school, we are open for enrollment. And I know we are still looking for a teacher or two. And if you have any questions about any of that, please contact Judith Siegel, who is our religious school director. We have 2 Tat Shabbat programs coming up, July 17th at 5 p.m. It's a Friday night. And then Saturday morning, July 25th at 10:30. The Friday night one will have a free dinner for the kids and their families afterwards. And then the Saturday morning one, they'll provide snacks. And if you have any questions about that, contact Angelina Lopez Brody or Dawn Thompson. As I mentioned before, when we did Lecha Dodi, we have Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, coming up, and that is on Wednesday evening, July 22nd. The service will be at 8 p.m. We'll read selections from the book of Eicha, and this year that service will be lay-led, just to let you know, but that's Wednesday evening, July 22nd at 8 p.m. 2 nights later, on July 24th, Friday night, we'll have a Shabbat Sparks event, which will be the Sparks of Tolerance. That'll start at 6 o'clock p.m. There will be wine and light bites at 6, followed by the service afterwards that Ellen Finston will lead. Her husband, Marty, will be speaking about Nathan versus the Alamo, a legal court case that has to do with the separation between church and state. And then there will be a dessert oneg afterwards. Everything is free to attend, but they do request that you RSVP by July 20th, if possible. Sunday, July 26th, we have 2 things going on. One is a special congregational meeting in order to formally vote in the next slate of executive officers, specifically the president and vice president, as well as to present the updated budget for the upcoming fiscal year. The budget meeting will start at 1:15, followed by the voting for the president and vice president. We need to have a quorum in person to do the vote. However, if you do attend online on Zoom, you can still cast a vote. But again, the quorum has to be in person, and that means a 2/3 majority needs to be present. And then after that meeting, at Diane Chodorow's house will be a musical recital that one of my bar mitzvah students, Ari Brichta, is going to do as part of his mitzvah project. His mitzvah project is to play Jewish music for the Jewish community of Albuquerque. And so one of the performances is open to the public, which he will do at Diane Choteau's house. And he will be playing some of Diane's own compositions. He'll play some Israeli songs and some selections from Fiddler on the Roof. He'll be doing that on the piano. And he is very talented, so I do highly recommend you try to go. And I believe that is it for now. We do have some other programs coming up in August, but as we get closer, we will let you know what those are. And if you're interested in learning more about what we're doing, you can check us out online, read our shofar, or come and visit and give us a call. Okay, with that, we're going to conclude with Yigdal, page 62. Yigdal Elohim chai ve'yishtabach nimtza ve'eneit el metziuto echad ve'in yachid keyichudo nelam ve'gam min sof le'achduto ein lo demut haguf ve'eino guf lo na'aroch elav kedushato kadmon lechol davar asher nivra Rishon vein Reshit leReshito Hino Adon Olam v'chol notzar Yoreh gedulato umalchuto Shefuv nevuato netano Ela anshe segulato v'tifarto Lo kam b'Yisrael kemoshe od Navi umabit et temunato Torah emet natan le'amoel al yad nevi'o neman beito lo yachal el velo yamir dato le'olamim lezulato Sofe ve'odea setarenu mabit lesof davar bekadmato Gomel ish chesed kemifalo Noten lerasha ra kerishato Yishlach leketz yamin meshichenu Liftot mechake ketz yeshuato Meitim Yechayel berov chasto Baruch adei ad shem tehilato Meitim Yechayel berov chasto Baruch adei ad shem tehilato. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Please join us tomorrow at 9:30. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Good Shabbos.